County school buses are short-staffed as thousands try to get to and from the classroom.
And the Greensboro City Council is finalizing new lines on their district maps.
These stories and more, All Access starts right now. Good evening and welcome to this week's edition of HBU All Access. I'm Thomas Hart.
And I'm Reese Allen. We have lots of news, sports, and entertainment updates coming your way. But first, let's head over to Blake Wooder for our snapshot of our local weather. Blake?
Thanks, Reese. It's not only looking like Christmas across campus, but it's starting to feel like it too. I'm Blake Woodard, and the cold weather is definitely here in the Triad. We're starting to see those areas in fall where winter starts to fight with it a little bit, and it is starting to fight with it. Thursday, it is going to be 47 degrees, but the low is 31 degrees, absolutely frigid. Friday, 54 with a low of 32, and Saturday, a high of 55 and a low of 36. Looking at our 7-day though, we're starting to see fall win again. 63 on Sunday and Monday, 68, and we start to see 70s again. 70 on Tuesday and 70 on Wednesday. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Blake. North Carolina's largest school system is facing a major transportation problem. Wake County Public School System has over 160,000 students. More than half of them use buses to be transported to and from school. And on Friday, a large number of bus drivers called in sick, protesting work conditions. Now administrators are scrambling to issue warnings to parents around the county. The system told parents that bus service for this week is uncertain and families need to make plans accordingly.
Over the past few months, the Greensboro City Council has been discussing the possibility of altering voting districts based on the data from the U.S. Census, which was released in 2020. The City Council will choose to change the 5 voting districts or redraw the map lines to the close of 20 years ago. This provides officials to the opportunity to balance district populations so that they can be equal across the city. Due to the census data being reported late this year, local elections will be pushed back to March 2022, and the city must notify any district changes to the North Carolina State Board of Elections by November 12th. It is unclear which way members on the Voting Redistrict Committee are leaning on this issue as they remain quiet on their most recent meeting on October 19th. Our campus has been busy, and reporter Ciara Zavala is here with this week's campus update. Ciara?
Here with this week's campus update, I'm Ciara Zavala. As a way to commemorate veterans, HBU's Kappa Alpha fraternity has partnered with the Independence Fund and their Operation CARE initiative that serves to give back to the men and women who have been wounded in the war this year. The fraternity will present 2 track chairs to 2 of the veterans in attendance at HBU's annual Veterans Day celebration on November 11th. The veterans chosen by the organization were identified as people whose quality of life would be improved by the durable track chairs, which increase outdoor mobility in the Department of Accounting. In the Department of Accounting, students partnered with IRS criminal investigation agents to gain hands-on experience through simulating criminal accounting scenarios. This exercise is known as the Adrian Project, which introduces students to different investigations with IRS criminal investigation agents. Students were able to interview as if it was a real crime, as well as looking through a mock database for information. This opportunity gave students a unique and experimental learning experience to try something new and to step out of their comfort zones. In an effort to honor Lindsay Howie, an HBU professor and the director of the dance program, HBU's dance company raised $2,000 for a cancer organization by selling pink wristbands. Miss Howie was just recently diagnosed with breast cancer. The cancer organization, Cancer Services, was the same group that was helped and supported Miss Howie on her cancer journey. At their dance concert held last Saturday, the dancers, faculty, and audience wore pink for breast cancer awareness. That's it for this week's campus update. Have a great week, HBU.
We're 4 hours away from our first game in the new Cabane Center, but the basketball teams aren't the only ones in action. Here are our Division I athletes on the court and the turf are winding down their Big South Conference play. Stay tuned, All Access will be right back.
Welcome to High Point University. On this campus, we are focused on preparing students for the world as it is going to be.
Hi, I'm Steve Wozniak, the Woz, and I'm proud to be High Point University's Innovator in Residence.
I'm Cent Marshall, CEO of the Dallas Mavericks, and I am proud to be High Point University's Sports Executive in Residence.
I'm Mark Randolph, and I'm proud to be the Entrepreneur in Residence at the premier life skills university, High Point University.
Welcome to Freddy's. How are you guys doing?
Meetings.
Lunch meetings all week, all salads.
Bean salads. Quinoa salads.
Heirloom salads.
Frisee salads. Sometimes, a guy needs a Freddy's Original Double, Chicago Dog, and a Turtle Sundae.
Make that 2, please.
3.
Absolutely.
If you're gonna be bad, it better be good. Being bad never tasted this good. Freddy's, the experience that puts a smile on your face and the taste that brings you back.
Musco Lighting. We make it happen.
Sheets run and done.
Welcome back to All Access. Our HBU Sports have some exciting updates, and sports reporter Wendell Epps is here to fill you in on what's going on. Wendell?
Thanks, guys, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Wendell Epps. The HBU men's soccer team clinched the number 2 seed in the Big South tournament after completing a no-no draw against the number 1 seed in the conference in Campbell. The Panthers are wrapping up their regular season tonight against UNC Asheville. High Point will now get set to face their next test, which will be the Big South tournament, and that game will be played next Wednesday since they are the number 2 seed, as they will get a bye in the quarterfinals round. Meanwhile, our women's soccer team also finished the regular season as the number 2 seed, and they will play their semifinal match tomorrow against Longwood right here at Vert Stadium at 4 o'clock. Come on, support your Panthers as they look to clinch a berth in Sunday's Big South Championship match. Now, our volleyball team unfortunately lost this past Saturday against Campbell, losing 3-0, but the Panthers will be looking for redemption this weekend as they will play a back-to-back against a familiar and new Big South foe in both Radford and North Carolina A&T, right here at the Millis Center. Now on to the talk of the town, which is High Point men's and women's basketball. The Convenience Center will officially open tomorrow night as our men's basketball team will play Mount Olive in an exhibition game at 7 o'clock. Our women's team will also play Mount Olive in an exhibition game, which will be played on Friday night at 7 o'clock. If you can't make it to the game, no worries. You can catch both games live on ESPN+. That's all I have for this week's High Point Sports Report. Back to you, Thomas and Reese.
Thanks, Wendell. We're really excited to see the tail end of our fall sports, and I really hope that the basketball team wins this, Thursday. It's going to be exciting to see what happens.
Should be packed. Should be pretty fun.
Yeah, definitely. Now we're joined at the desk by political correspondent Hannah Hutter. Welcome, Hannah.
Thanks, Reese. With the Let's Go Brandon chant becoming popular amongst sporting event crowds and right-wing circles, a Southwest Airlines pilot has reportedly used the phrase during a flight. Southwest has issued an investigation, and the airline issued a statement apologizing to its customers, stating they do not condone employees sharing their personal political beliefs on the job. A journalist for the Associated Press was on board a Southwest flight from Houston to Albuquerque Friday when she heard the phrase come from the pilot. She said there were audible gasps from passengers. Southwest is conducting an internal investigation into the recently reported incident and will address the matter directly with any employee involved. The airline apologizes for this event, an action that was not reflective of the Southwest hospitality for which we are known, said a spokesperson from the airline to the Washington Post on Sunday. What do you guys think? Do you think the airline's handling this correctly?
I mean, I think when I looked through this, there's one statement you said which I think is so true. It's that they don't condone employees sharing their personal political beliefs on the job, and I think that's something when you look at when we talk about airlines, you know, everyone's always very clean cut. You know, everyone looks very professional. And I could see why people gasped when they heard something like that, because it's becoming common. People understand what it is now. And to hear that on a flight, I would also be a little bit taken back, because that's just not something you would expect.
Right, and I think it's certainly the right call to take a look into things a little bit further, just to see, you know, what is happening behind the scenes. So.
Absolutely, better safe than sorry. Well, in other news, the United States will be providing almost $144 million in humanitarian assistance in Afghanistan. The White House announced Thursday that the aid will be going to those affected by the ongoing humanitarian crisis. These funds will bring the total United States aid in Afghanistan to almost $474 million, which National Security Council spokesperson Emily Horn said is the largest amount of assistance from any nation. This aid is coming as nearly 20 million Afghan citizens are predicted to be affected by an acute food crisis this winter. Secretary of State Antony Blinken said in a statement Thursday, quote, "To be clear, this humanitarian assistance will benefit the people of Afghanistan and not the Taliban, whom we will continue to hold accountable for the commitments they have made."
Thanks, Hannah. We'll definitely have to keep an eye on that situation as it progresses. Coming up after the break, a billion-dollar company gave their employees an unexpected gift.
And we'll hear how HBU students got into the Christmas spirit a little bit early this year.
All Access will be right back. Stay with us.
Welcome to High Point University. On this campus, we are focused on preparing students for the world as it is going to be.
Hi, I'm Steve Wozniak, the Woz, and I'm proud to be High Point University's Innovator in Residence.
I'm Cent Marshall, CEO of the Dallas Mavericks, and I am proud to be High Point University's Sports Executive in Residence.
I'm Mark Randolph, and I'm proud to be the Entrepreneur in Residence at the premier life skills university, High Point University.
Welcome to Freddy's. How are you guys doing?
Meetings.
Lunch meetings all week, all salads.
Bean salads,
Quinoa salads.
Heirloom salads.
frisee salads.
Sometimes a guy needs a Freddy's Original Double, Chicago Dog, and a Turtle Sundae.
Make that 2, please.
3.
Absolutely.
If you're gonna be bad, it better be good. Being bad never tasted this good. Freddy's, the experience that puts a smile on your face and the taste that brings you back.
Musco Lighting. We make it happen.
Sheets run and done.
Welcome back to All Access. HBU is always decked out for the Christmas season, but the decorations were loaded into Hayworth Fine Arts Center a few weeks earlier than usual. And I went over to see just how our students were getting involved in this large-scale Christmas project. It's only October, and here at High Point University, the Christmas season is in full effect as the music department prepares to put on a Christmas service. But this one is different from most. On Tuesday, October 26th, the High Point University Music Department held a live Christmas service that will be broadcast on television through the ABC network to their local affiliate TV stations on Christmas Eve.
This event showcased a variety of chorus groups on campus who were taught and conducted by Dr. Mark Ashley Foster, Chair of the Department of Music and Director of Choral Activities. We spoke with him to hear how this event will come together.
Well, it's a very different event of what's happening tonight versus what's going to come out on Christmas Eve, because we're recording all of each individual element, and then in post-editing we'll put everything back together. So it's kind of hard to get a feel for what's most exciting right now. I guess I'm going to be most excited to tune in on Christmas Eve to see what actually gets put together, because what's happening tonight is going to be very different from what we're going to see on Christmas Eve.
In addition to performing, students were also given the opportunity to apply things learned in the classroom and participate in a real setting. Nicholas Massalaris, a junior media production and entrepreneurship major, was able to technical direct the broadcast.
So as a media production student, doing things like this is essential. I mean, we can talk about it all day in the classroom, but going out there and doing it is really important. Otherwise, how are we supposed to know how to interact with people and what actually happens on set?
Be sure to keep an eye out for this service on your local ABC station this Christmas Eve.
I'm Reese Allen, reporting for Q News. Well, I know I'm excited to see the final product on December 24th. And now, Gabrielle Barone is joined in studio with Nicholas Massalaris, who not only helped out with the Christmas broadcast, but is the president of Campus Connectors. Gabrielle?
Thank you, Reese, and welcome, Nicholas. How are you?
Thanks for having me. Really good.
Of course, I'm so glad you're here today. So I know that you got to work alongside the ABC project. What was that experience like?
Yeah, so during the ABC broadcast, I was able to technical direct the broadcast recording. So I was back in the booth cutting cameras and working alongside the director and the producers.
Well, working back behind the scenes probably gave you a good experience because you probably knew exactly what you were doing.
Yeah, it was really good to have hands-on learning and everything, because doing things in the studio is great, doing things in the classroom is great, but it's really unique and different to do things for like a real-world broadcast with crews from the local area.
Well, obviously we know you're very talented with all the technical side, but you also created a club here on the High Point University campus, Campus Connectors. So tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so Campus Connectors started during COVID back 1 year ago, actually very close to this date. And what Campus Connectors does is it connects with students one-on-one to help get them more involved on campus through just like these one-on-one meetings, very informal, nothing crazy. We pay for your Starbucks, things like that. But really it's more of just kind of an extended peer mentor program where you can request a Campus Connector whenever, and you can meet with an upperclassman who's similar interests, majors, things like that.
Well, that's amazing, and I know a lot of young students coming in will probably love to have an older mentor. And I know that you said that this started missed COVID, so how was the process starting a club in general and also being in the midst of a global pandemic?
Yeah, so Campus Connectors kind of came out of that need of coming out of virtual, and especially right now, freshmen haven't been in the classroom for 2 years. The process was fairly straightforward. You know, you have an idea of a club that you want to have, and you can find other people who are like, yeah, I think that's the same thing as well. So we kind of started networking with each other through the Office of Student Life and got some support from the president of Student Life, and eventually went through the SGA charter process, and now we're an officially chartered SGA club.
Now, if a student or a mentor would like to get involved, what steps can they take to be involved in the club?
Yeah, so we have right about 30 super diverse connectors. So you can go on to involved.highpoint.edu. There's a tab up the top that says forms, and there's one that says campus connectors. Fill that out, and we connect you within a few hours to a connector. And then from there, you meet up with them and get connected.
Well, that's amazing. I know when I was a freshman, I was having a little bit of trouble with homesickness and stuff like that. And obviously, I didn't know anybody in the School of Communication, so I wish you invented this a few years ago. I would have loved to do it.
I was in the same boat. A lot of us were in the same boat. And so we've seen a lot of success out of this. We're approaching over 200 connections in just 1 year.
Wow, that's amazing. Wow. So. Well, Nicholas, congratulations for starting a club on campus. That's amazing, and I know that it's going to do really well. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
And Reese, back to you.
Thanks, Gabrielle and Nicholas. Now let's head over to entertainment reporter Shreya Rana to hear the inside scoop from Hollywood. Shreya?
Gigi Hadid and Zayn Malik break up after the singer allegedly struck Gigi Hadid's mother, Yolanda Hadid. Malik was charged with 4 counts of harassment and pleaded guilty. Malik released a statement on Twitter to address the situation. As you all know, I am a private person and I very much want to create a safe and private place for my daughter to grow up in, a place where private family matters aren't thrown on the world stage for all to poke and pick apart. In an effort to protect the space for her, I agreed to not contest claims arising from an argument I had with a family member of my partner's who entered our home while my partner was away several weeks ago. This was and still should be a private matter, but it seems for now their divisiveness and effort, despite my efforts to restore us to a peaceful family environment that will allow for me to co-parent my daughter in a manner in which she deserves, this has been leaked to the press. I am hopeful, though, for healing for all involved with the harsh words shared, and more importantly, I remain vigilant to protect Kay and give her the privacy she deserves. Gigi Hadid is asking for privacy at this time for her family. Bachelorette season is upon us, and Michelle Young is looking for love. This is the first time there have been 2 bachelorettes before a season of The Bachelor. However, the ratings have been down significantly compared to other seasons. The show is still #1 among adults 18 to 49, but the total viewers during the premiere was only 3 million compared to last fall's debut, which had 5 million viewers. That's all I have for this week. Be sure to tune in next week for more entertainment updates.
Sarah Blankney, who is the founder of the shapewear company Spanx, surprised all her employees with $10,000 and 2 plane tickets to any destination in the world. As Blankney explained in a video announcement on her Instagram, that with the tickets for vacation, her employees would also need spending money for things like going out on a really nice dinner or for a hotel. This announcement was made following the company's business deal with Blackstone that raised the company's net worth to $1.2 billion. This deal is said to position Spanx to boost its online platform and expand its presence on Daylight's.
Spring forward and fall back, 2 phrases every American is all too familiar with. On Saturday night, we will set our clocks back 1 hour, officially marking wintertime sunsets, which means we lose more and more sunlight throughout the day. Daylight savings time was established during World War I to extend the workday to conserve fuel for war industries. It was briefly ended after World War II, but was established again with the Uniform Act in 1966. Bringing it to the American calendar once again. A dozen states, including North Carolina, have introduced legislation to make the extra hour of daylight permanent. And that does it for our broadcast this evening. Thanks again for watching. Join us next week, same time, same place. For HB All Access, I'm Thomas Hart.
And I'm Reese Allen. Have a great week, High Point.